We are here in front of the Bolshoi Theater in Moscow. We are going to conduct an interview there in a short moment, not to talk about the Russian culture, but to talk about anti-Semitism. Last September, the Russian Polling Institute Levada Center said that 80% of Jews deemed that anti-Semitism had receded since the Soviet Union. While anti-Semitism is falling in Russia, in other European countries, the situation is only getting worse for Jews. According to another poll, 90% of Jews from Germany, France, Austria, Poland, Italy, Spain have noticed a deterioration. Russia has the sixth largest population of Jews in the world. There are around 200,000. Therefore, the population census can't give us a true measurement of the amounts of anti-Semitism throughout the world. Then how has a country like Russia, known for its persecutions against the Jews in the 19th and 20th century, become one of the safest places for them in the world? Beyond opinion polls, how does the Jewish community really feel there? What is the Russian recipe? This documentary aims at bringing some answer to these questions. This woman who is seated on a bench in front of the Bolshoi Theater is Rainy. She moved from the US and has been living for the last 5 years in Russia. She recently experienced anti-Semitism on a dating app. Now she's going to tell us more. Rainy, thanks again for sharing this negative experience. How did it happen?
Well, I'm happy to share, but I met this guy on Bumble and we were talking and things were going pretty well. And then we decided to turn the conversation over to Instagram, and that's when things went south.
So you're Jewish?
Yes, I am. If that's a problem, you can see yourself out.
I guess not. Don't act like Judah, and we'll be cool.
You mean the biblical character?
Yes.
Honestly, can't say I know too much about him.
We don't like Jews in Russia. No offense.
How did you feel after that?
Obviously, I was in shock. I mean, how could I not be? It was my first time in my entire life being victimized solely based on my religion. The person didn't even know anything about me, so it was obviously a shocking moment. But I can definitely tell you, surprisingly, that I still feel 100% safe in Russia.
How can you say you still feel safe as a Jew after what you have been through?
Well, 9 times out of 10, when I meet with somebody on Bumble or I match with them, it's no problem. This is really the only time that I've had a problem with anybody. Most of the time when people find out that I'm Jewish, they're excited. They want to learn more. They want to know about my background. That's why I can say that I feel safe, you know? Even if I'm on the metro, sometimes I may get a look, but I don't know if it's because I'm Jewish. They don't express any hatred towards me, you know? Just so, it's stuff like that makes me feel safe.
You say you feel safe in Moscow, but would you say the same about Russia in general?
Honestly, yeah. I've lived in Moscow and St. Petersburg on and off for the last 5 years, and I've been to other cities where I've explored the Jewish culture there, and I've never once had a problem, so I can definitely say that Russia is much safer than any other country that I've been to regarding my Judaism.
Are yet Jews really safe in Russia? We are heading to the Yeshiva Torat Chaim, a Jewish education center, where last night an intruder came in.
From over here, from this side, from this direction, he came from over here. He broke the window over here, then he put some fire.
He set the storehouse in fire where the food was stocked. Here is what remains of it.
Here almost 30 years. I think it's the second, maybe the third time that someone gave me to feel that, you know, you're Jewish and we don't want you over here.
Moshe Lebel was sleeping in this building along with the 150 dwellers of the yeshiva. The day after, life is back on track at the center, like nothing really happened. Moshe Lebel explains.
Just one, you know, one of many millions that came out with some ideas. We don't feel any more problems the last few years like you can see in Europe.
If Moshe Lebel says he feels safe in Russia, regardless of the attack, it is also because anti-Semitism is not as it used to be in Russia. Under the Russian Empire in the 19th and beginning of the 20th century, Jews were persecuted in violent riots called pogroms. Then, under the Soviet Union, they were targeted by the government with anti-Semitic caricatures. They couldn't aim to have any future in politics. They were barred from the most prestigious universities. They were Russian citizens, but the word Jewish was stamped on their passport. Sasha Klein and his family were treated as second-class citizens. Therefore, to protect his son, Sasha's mother decided to keep him in the dark about his identity until the age of 10.
My mother was in the favor of changing the school for a Jewish one. And I was like, Jewish school? What the hell I should do there? It's a Jewish school, there are only Jews. And my mom was like, well, you know, I don't know how to say, but you're a Jew. And I was like, why? Why I'm Jew? I don't want to be a Jew. What is this?
For safety reasons, Sasha and his family had to stay away from Judaism until 1991. Even though Jews did not need to hide themselves anymore, the collapse of Soviet Union did not put an end to anti-Semitism.
I was the student in the university and I was taking the exam and I answered the teacher about the Torah. She was like, are you Jew? I was like, yes, I'm Jew. And in front of everybody, she was like, shame on you.
How did you react?
Nothing. No. I stood up, I threw the papers, and I went away from the school.
Times have changed for Jews in Russia, but Sasha is still reeling from his past.
We feel ourselves safe, but do we feel ourselves comfortable? I don't know.
His wife, who never faced anti-Semitism, does not share the same feelings.
Do you feel safe?
Yes.
Why? The government?
Because she keeps her mouth shut.
No, I think I feel safe because I can openly say that I'm Jew. I can say to my friends, I can go to synagogue, I can participate in the Jewish life here.
She also says that the situation has improved for Jews because of Vladimir Putin.
With him, it started to be more open that people say that they're Jewish, and there are a lot of schools and children garden there which are government and which are Jewish, and where there is kosher food, and it is more open now, even if it's still there are anti-Semitism in a daily basis.
We are now going to Marina Rosha Synagogue, where Vladimir Putin has shown his support during multiple visits over the years. Next to him, the chief rabbi of Russia, Berel Lazar, is going to tell us more about a Putin influence over anti-Semitism.
When he was prime minister, was after a whole string of anti-Semitic attacks. In the press, there was a lot of anti-Semitism. Once he came to power, once he became president, he said very clearly, zero tolerance on anti-Semitism.
However, according to Berel Lazar, there are two scenarios where anti-Semitism could widely resurface.
To say that we are rid of anti-Semites in Russia, it's a little exaggerated. Number one, if things aren't as good economically, there'll still be some people that are going to blame the Jews. It's history. I hope it's never going to happen. But if Russia and Israel relationship deteriorates, if there's going to be a crisis in the region, yes, the Jewish community here might suffer. There might be some people who will say, oh, Israel is against Russia, Russia is against Israel, so we are against the Jewish community.
A string of anti-Semitic attacks occurred in the aftermath of a Russian plane shot down last September in Syria, where Russia blamed the Jewish state. The abuse spread very quickly yet, due to Putin's influence, according to the Jewish organizations.
I think it's safe all over. Today, for a Jew to walk in the streets with a kippah, tzitzit outside, everybody should know that he's Jewish, at work, in school, it's really not a problem anymore.
Anti-Semitism has a double face in Russia actually. According to Levada Center, if only 1% of Jews says that they have been physically attacked, 73% of them have been exposed to anti-Semitic insults. This proves that in Russia as well, anti-Semitism is not totally part of the past.